Hello and welcome to BUGZ Online. Even though we can't meet in person this term, we thought we'd keep in touch with you by putting up some videos for you to watch each week during our BUGZ time. So each week we're going to tell you a story from the Bible, and we'll give you some craft activities, and sometimes we might even do some singing for you, which you can join along. But today we're going to start with our first story, which is the story of Noah's Ark. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, have already heard this story, but I'm sure you'll enjoy hearing it again. During Noah's lifetime, some people were acting very badly. And this made God unhappy. It made him unhappy because the people seemed to be thinking more about themselves than about God. But Noah was a very good man who loved and obeyed God always. And God loved Noah. Actually, God loved everybody just as much as he loved Noah. But at the time, Noah was the only person listening to God. God told Noah to build an ark, which is a really big boat. So Noah followed God's plan and built a boat that was 1.5 football fields long. That's a huge boat. Noah's neighbours laughed at him because there wasn't even any water in the desert where they lived. But God told Noah that a great flood was coming. Noah tried to warn the people to change their ways so that they could hear God too, but they weren't listening. They just kept on with their own selfish lives. God asked Noah to collect 2 of all the creatures of the earth and bring them into the ark. He also told the animals to find Noah, so it wasn't hard for Noah to gather them all together. Pairs of each kind of animal were put safely inside the ark before it began to rain. Noah's wife and his 3 sons and their wives were also safe on the boat. When everyone was aboard, God shut the door. Noah and his family and the animals lived in the ark for 7 days before the rain started to fall. Then it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Soon the earth was covered with water. After it stopped raining, the water continued to rise for 150 days. The ark landed in the mountain range during the 7th month of the flood. God sent a big wind and the waters began to evaporate. Noah and the floating zoo had to stay in the ark for several more months while the earth slowly dried out. Finally, Noah sent a bird out of the ark's window to look for land. When it didn't return, Noah waited another week for the water level to go down and then sent a dove to do the same thing. The dove couldn't find a place to rest, so it returned to the ark. Another week passed, and then Noah sent the dove out again. This time he came back with an olive branch. Noah now knew that the water was low enough for a tree branch to show. When Noah sent off the dove a week later, it didn't return. It had found a place to live on dry land. Altogether, Noah and his family and the animals lived on the ark for over a year. Now, at the moment, we've been at home for about a month. So imagine having to stay in the one place for a year, more than a year. It was now time for all the creatures and Noah's family to move off the ark. Noah and his family and the animals needed to start life over again. After everyone left the ark, Noah prayed to God to thank him for keeping them safe. Suddenly, a bright rainbow filled the sky. So I've got a picture here of a rainbow for you. I'm sure you've all seen rainbows. Everyone gets excited when they see rainbows. But Noah was particularly excited because this was God's promise that he would never flood the earth again. So every time we see a rainbow, we can remember God's promise to us that he would never do this again. So in this story, Noah was kept safe from the flood because he listened to God. And at the moment, when we're staying at home, we're all getting a bit fidgety and we want to get out and play with our friends all the time. But we know that if we listen to the people who are telling us, who are looking after us, we know that we will get through this and we will be all kept safe and well, and we'll all be able to join together again soon. So I've got some craft for you to do today as well. So you might need to get your mum or your dad or an older brother or sister to help you find some of the things that you need. First of all, you need a white piece of paper, and we're going to draw a shape of a cloud. Okay, so in our story today, there was a lot of rain. We know when there's rain, there's clouds. So we need a cloud. And at the end of the story, God sent a rainbow as his promise that he would never flood the earth again. So I've got some strips of different coloured paper here, and I'm going to stick them on our cloud. So you'll need some scissors to cut out a shape, and you'll need some different coloured paper, and we'll need a glue stick. So what we're going to do is to stick each of these pieces of paper at the bottom of our cloud. Now I've got the actual colours of a rainbow. I don't know if you know the colours that we should have on a rainbow. There's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. And indigo and violet are both different shapes of purple. But we don't need to put those in order for our craft, and we don't even need to use the right colours. So once you stick them on the bottom, you can put a string at the top and you can hang it up in your bedroom or somewhere else in the house so everyone can see it. So that's our craft for today, and that reminds us that God likes us to do what he says, because he loves us and he looks after us, and he has promised that he will never flood the whole world again. So hopefully we'll see you back again next week for another story and some more craft.